Okay, and welcome to The Greatest Stories Ever Told with me, Abby Hoskins.
And me, Nathan Appleby.
Okay, so in this episode, we're going to be reviewing Blue Velvet.
Yeah, as soon as it's David Lynch's birthday on the 20th of this month, we decided let's go and do Blue Velvet. A classic.
Definitely a classic story.
Okay, right. In a nutshell, the story is Jeffrey Beaumont, played by Kyle MacLachlan. His dad is taken ill. Jeffrey goes to visit him. On the way home, he finds a severed human ear.
Which he decides to pick up, which I don't think is the best idea.
Yeah, I would not pick it up personally,
It
especially as it looks
gross.
it looks really gross. There's like a bit of mold growing on it. So anyway, he picks it up, takes it to the police, which is a weird scene, a typically David Lynch scene, because he has it in like a brown paper bag, and he shows it to the police guy, and he just says, "Yep, that's an ear, all right."
Yeah, it seems kind of a bit brief about it, really.
Yeah, it's kind of like a nonchalance, just like, okay, you just looked at an ear.
You didn't seem that bothered about
Yeah,
it.
but anyway, so Jeffrey, with the help of this police guy's daughter, they end up investigating said ear. They end up at a woman called Dorothy Valens' apartment. Then Dennis Hopper, playing Frank Booth, turns up and things go bad.
Yeah.
Very, very quickly.
Go a little bit downhill there.
And it is amazing.
I'm really glad that we chose to review this film because I'm so glad that I've watched it now. I think it's definitely one of my favourites now.
It's such a good film. It's just typical David Lynch stuff. I mean, and my three favourite David Lynch films are Razorhead, Blue Velvet, and Mulholland Drive. But Blue Velvet's is kind of like he's tried to do something that's typical, but in trying to do that, he's written something that's just weird.
Yeah, it's kind of flipped what he seems like he was trying to do on its head a little bit.
Yeah, which is no bad thing and probably makes the film better
than
if someone else had tried to write a David Lynch film. It just wouldn't work.
It wouldn't have worked very well.
And like David Lynch's style was quite clear from the start. So I mean, he's always does like kind of 1950s-esque, like looking at it in that kind of way. So you start off with these like oversaturated white picket fences, and he's establishing this little town that we're gonna go in, and
like a typical like idealized American kind of town.
Yeah, so like you got the white picket fences, you got the waving firemen on the side of the thing, and all the houses got their like nice prim gardens, and
everything's in line. Nothing's out
everything
of place.
looks lovely. And then Jeffrey's dad has like a heart attack. He falls over, and then you get this zoom.
Yeah, right down into the grass, into the earth, with all the bugs, and it's kind of disgusting.
Yeah, and it's like it's kind of like setting up the film for what's going to happen next, where you're going from this nice place down to the underground. And it's just
it is really kind of
it's just gross. It's just really gross.
I found a quote that David Lynch made in an interview once, where he said, "I don't know why it had to be an ear, except it had to be the opening of a part of the body, a hole into something else. And the ear sits on the side of the head and goes right into the mind, so it felt perfect." I think that kind of fits it, and once you hear that, it kind of shows why it is an ear, because it does seem a bit random otherwise, it just being an ear.
Yeah, he does. It really does. The film goes into your mind.
Yeah.
It's unforgettable, this film. It's just brilliant. Everything about it is perfect. Like the script couldn't be better, the directing couldn't be better, the acting's amazing, the editing is like, it's not overdone and it's not too little. It's just right place,
enough,
right time. And it's just like the set design is perfect because again it's nice houses and they're like everything's like square and it's all like designed properly, and then all this like bad stuff happens in it and you're like, oh, how could that happen in such a nice place?
It seems kind of wrong in some ways, but it just seems to flow and work so well.
Yeah, because David Lynch is sort of known as being a surreal director, but in places in Blue Velvet it's quite realistic. So like that scene with Frank Booth and Dorothy Valens is done quite realistically. So there's like not loads of cuts in the camera. There's not loads of cuts. There's not like The soundtrack isn't like overpowering you.
Mm.
It's just you're just sat there watching this acting, and it's really
It just leaves the acting to kind of
do its
almost
thing.
do all the work kind of thing.
And it's really unsettling. And at the same time, like the character Jeffrey's in the closet watching them through it, and it's very voyeuristic, and it's kind of like he's watching it and you're watching it, and because they keep cutting back to him, you kind of feel closer to him because he's watching it as well, and it kind of unsettles you even more, and
it makes it seem like you're feeling quite kind of almost perverted, like you're witnessing something that you really shouldn't be watching with him.
There's like times when you really want to look away from this film, but you can't. You can't. It's so good. You are glued to this film. Dennis Hopper is the glue that holds your eyes to the screen. He's such a good actor, and I've seen him in a few other things, but Blue Velvet is his most unforgettable. He's going to be remembered for that for a very long time.
They couldn't have chosen anyone else better to play that part.
No, they couldn't have done. I don't know who else they might have tried to get hold of. I heard or read that Dennis Hopper wasn't the first choice and that he begged for the part. And I'm glad he did because
really glad he did.
He's just menacing. He's terrifying. He's all the other bad words you can think of. And
he should have got an award.
He should have got awards because it's just so good. He's just... every little eye movement, every little smile that he does.
He's got it down to a T.
He has got it down to a T. And like the way he delivers his lines is just so creepy. And then there's the mask.
Yes.
And it's just...
something so sinister about the way he uses that mask.
I know, and you don't even know what's in it.
No.
But he just like puts it on his face, breathes in deeply, lets it out, and you're like, what is going on here?
You know something bad's going to happen.
Like, what the hell is in that? Because I think I read as well that in the script, David Lynch said that it was some sort of drug, but Dennis Hopper said, take it out, because it's more creepy if we don't know what it is.
Yeah, if you don't know what it is and you don't know what it's doing to him, you can see that it's changing him somehow.
Yeah, and it's just so creepy. Or you can see the mask, you can't see like a canister or anything, can you?
Yeah,
all you see is
comes
this
from
mask.
his jacket.
Yeah,
so.
It's like, what is he carrying around with him? But then there's other good like supporting actors. You've got like Kyle MacLachlan who's playing this innocent, and you've got a young Laura Dern who's also playing an innocent, and then you've got in part of Dennis Hopper, his entourage is regular David Lynch actors Jack Nance and Brad Dourif, and they just play these really creepy guys that go on this joyride with them, and it's just the lines and during this like little couple scenes when this like bit's happening is just so well done. They're so like creepy, and it's like
really well scripted in there.
It is incredibly well scripted. You kind of couldn't script it any better. You can tell every line's been constructed in such a way.
And they fit their characters as well.
Yeah, everything
makes it work even better.
Yeah, everything fits perfectly. I mean, like Isabella Rossellini, her character, she's got like this, like mad. There's just like a madness behind her eyes.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to describe it.
You've got to see her portray the character to be able to really understand how well that she does it.
Yeah. She like portrays kind of like terrified innocence, and there's like a bit when her and Jeffrey are together, and you're like, okay, what's happening here? Just before and just after the Frank character's around, and that,
you can tell that there's an innocence there about her that makes you, it makes you really feel for her, and you can tell that she's been like really messed around by Frank, and it makes you hate Frank even more. Yeah,
Jeffrey's got like kind of goes on the fence between like Laura Dern's character and Isabella Rossellini's character, like which woman is going to be like his sort of love interest. But like Isabella Rossellini's got this like fiery, like she's just spontaneous and it's like terrifying, and she's got like an electricity about her.
Yeah, kind of really captures you with her.
Yeah, and you can see how he's getting drawn to her, and even
something a bit more dangerous.
Yeah, she's dangerous, and you can kind of see how Kyle's character could end up.
Yeah,
like that.
I've fallen in love with Blue Velvet, Bobby Vinton, such a good song.
Yeah, I'd never heard the song before the film,
Mm.
and if I had done, this film would change the way you hear that song.
Yeah, it
It's-
definitely will.
And like Isabella Rossellini's rendition of it is really kind of creepy
Mm.
as well. Like the way she sings it.
She kind of changes it, and she makes it kind of seem like it's about something completely different.
Yeah,
The way
and
she sings it.
the way like Frank Booth's character, his relationship to Blue Velvet
Mm.
as a prop, like a piece of Blue Velvet, is just so horrible. And
It makes you hear the song differently.
yeah, it really does change
After
your
this film.
mind. Yeah. And then there's a song In Dreams, to Roy Orbison, and there's like this bit when one of the characters is lip syncing it, and it's just really weird because I'd never heard the song before. I kind of thought he was singing it, and then the mic goes away and the song's still playing. You're like, well, that's weird.
Yeah.
And then it's just like setting up this weird scene again. Then there's like another bit with that song that's just so creepy.
The way in which they show this, it kind of, I don't listen to the song in the same way anymore.
No, it's just like Dennis Hopper and Carmen McLachlan are there, and he's terrified, and like Dennis Hopper's character's like in his face, and you don't know what the hell he's gonna do next because he's
so unpredictable.
He's
he
unpredictable.
Can do anything.
Yeah, anything it could happen now, and this song's going on, and he's just talking the lyrics.
Yeah.
And you can't hear them the same way again after that. The way he says them to this quite nice love song is just so horrible. You're like, oh.
It gives it a whole new meaning, and it makes you, it makes you not really want to listen to the song.
It's just horrible. But the film as a whole is just perfect.
Yeah, it couldn't be any better.
It could not be any better.
It's definitely, one of my favourite films now.
If you have not seen it, then see it.
You
Can't
need
recommend
to
this
watch
film
it.
enough. Because I know, because it's not really a mainstream film, not a lot of people have heard of it.
Yeah.
But everyone who has seen it has said, wow.
You won't walk away from this film not feeling satisfied with what you've just watched.
Yeah.
You won't.
It's so good. Star rating?
I would have to, rate this film really high. I'd go as far as I would give it a 5-star.
Yeah, I'd join you up there. 5 stars. You could, the script's perfect, direction's perfect, editing's perfect, acting's
brilliant,
perfect, set design, costumes, everything is perfect.
Every little thing about it.
I mean, we could
fits.
talk for a hell of a long time about everything. I mean, we haven't even gone that in depth into set design or costume or anything. So, I mean, there's a hell of a lot that's just perfect about this film. And you couldn't take a star away. You
can't.
I mean, like with other films we've done, there's been like bad points.
Yeah, there's little bits that don't give it the 5 stars, but there's nothing you can pick out with this film.
You can't pick anything out of this film. It's just everything. It's just don't change a single scene.
Yeah.
Perfect.
You need to go and watch it if you haven't seen it. We can't stress that enough.
Yeah, we cannot stress that enough.
Okay, so next time we're going to do something a little bit different, and we're going to compose a list of our 5 favourite, still working, not deceased filmmakers.
Yeah, we're going to do a list, 5 each, and our 5 favourite of their films.
Yeah.
Just to shake it up a little bit and do something different.
So we'll see you next time.
Yeah, thanks for listening.